Hey guys and gals, doing the second video of 3 about thyroid problems. Here in the North Dallas area, Dr. Lewis Cohn here. If you have a chance to subscribe to these videos so that you can get the next one or be just reminded, just a little reminder when the next one comes up, please subscribe. That will help my influence grow, and I want to influence more people, let people know of some of the natural things out here in the North Texas area instead of standard care. Standard care physicians are awesome, but sometimes they don't have enough time to really get into depth and do enough of the detective work behind what's going on. I try to do a lot of detective work behind what's going on with people, no matter what they're coming in with. I try to not pay attention too much to what the problem is. I listen and I care what the problem is, but I try to really dig and do detective work for where the problem is coming from. For example, if you have a knee problem, very often the problem is coming from something that's a systemic inflammation, or infertility that we're talking about now could be coming from someplace else. So I try to find out where that other thing is coming from so that we can fix your complaint. But generally, the cause of the complaint is from someplace else. So just keep that in mind. That's going to be a thread going through all these videos very, very frequently. The thing that you're complaining about has some cause that's from someplace else that you're not even thinking about. So that's why we have to be good detectives together and do some testing and find out what's going on. So for thyroid problems, as I mentioned, reproductive problems, as I mentioned in the other video, a lot of thyroid problems. So that needs to be tested for. You can do some blood testing to get ideas about what's going on with the thyroid gland. I also enjoy doing applied kinesiology testing here in the office, which is a way of getting neurofeedback from the brain through a muscle response. The nervous system can tell you, yes, there's something off with the thyroid, or no, it's fine. So it kind of can, the applied kinesiology approach really helps me with the detective work that's needed for finding out what's going on. So you can do the testing with blood work or applied kinesiology in what I've seen. Also, you can do some hair analysis or some different types of tests for getting insights into other things. With food allergies, I mentioned also, they can be inflammatory, and inflammation is not the friend of a healthy pregnancy or getting pregnant in the first place. So we want to reduce inflammation. Food allergies, okay, we need to run some food allergy tests. Food allergy testing can be done in the office with, again, the applied kinesiology testing method, or you can also do some blood test and send it off to a laboratory and get results on what your foods are that you're allergic to. And I love that too. It's a second set of eyes and a way to look more in depth for between 100 and 200 different types of foods that you maybe have no clue that you're allergic to. I myself have a mild allergy to wheat or gluten, to cow milk, and for the most part that's the main ones. If I keep wheat low and milk products low, my health is really good. But if I didn't know that, if I never had any testing done, I would be walking around feeling awful. I would be sick all the time, and I would have stomach problems, and I'd probably weigh an extra 100 pounds. So I'm really glad to know that and work on it. Food allergies can be a real problem with infertility, so it needs to have a test run. If it's not been run and you're having troubles with pregnancy, that's just a big thing that's being missed. It should be one of the first things checked for. Number 3, there's a chance there might be some toxins affecting your body. Toxins can throw off various things, including hormone balance. You want your hormones balanced for thyroid function. So running a hair analysis for toxic metals, toxins, chemicals that may be in the body, if they're higher or are unexpectedly they're present, you want to do some detoxing to clean those out. And then you'll usually see some normalcy returning to hormones and normalcy returning to body function. So detoxing can be very important, and we don't know if you need to detox unless we run a test to see, are there some toxins there? So we can also do that testing here in the office. And it can be done via distance as well with some hair samples sent off to a laboratory. Food allergies, toxins, sometimes there are some inflammatory chemicals being produced by low-grade infections. Viruses, yeast, microparasites. These things can hide in pockets of the body and cause real mischief. And that's also one of the common things I find behind people who come in and say, I've been to a ton of doctors and they run a lot of tests and nobody can quite figure out what's wrong with me. And it can be heartbreaking if it's a pregnancy problem or infertility problem, but just as common as something like, no one can figure out why my knees are hurting. I never had an accident. No one can figure out why my stomach is having problems. No one can figure out why my heart is having troubles. You need to run some of these tests and be a good detective to just find what's missing. Low-grade infections. And sometimes there's some nutritional deficiencies as well. In particular, the thyroid gland needs certain trace minerals and sometimes some of the activated forms of the B vitamins for normal working. So we won't know that unless we also do some testing to find out which one you need. So there can be some nutritional deficiencies that need to be discovered. So I always like to keep things pretty simple. You either have too much of a bad thing or you're missing something that's a good thing. You're lacking something good, you need to reduce something that's bad. Reducing something bad, generally that falls into the toxins, food allergies, low-grade infections. Lacking something good, usually that is some of the nutritional things. Vitamins, minerals, water, sometimes a balance of the food that you're eating. You need certain more macronutrients or micronutrients. So my job is to be a detective and find out which one of these things is off for your body. And again, thyroid gland seems to be just the king of the reproductive system and the king mischief maker, and it's pretty common to be lacking something that it needs. So let's run these tests. If you would like me to run some of these tests and do some detective work to find out what's causing troubles, contact my office. My phone number is 972-880-8541. Or you can email me with a question. My email is lewiscone, LEWISCONE, @yahoo.com. Or comment down below. There's a place probably to comment, ask questions, or subscribe. Love it if you would subscribe. And let's get you feeling better. Share this with friends and family if they're having any troubles too. Hope to grow this channel, and I'll see you on another video.